information video added onto the tvtrade.ie website that cover the topic of the digital TV switchover that's happening in Ireland. Okay, this is an ongoing process. The new Serview service, as it's officially known, is being broadcast by RTNL, which is basically RTE Networks, and it's been in test mode for the last number of years, and you know, it's been pseudo operating across Ireland since October of 2010, and there's been a number of additional launches here with different services, such as, we'll say, the decision to add RTE2 as a high definition rather than a standard definition. So why is this happening? Well, it's happening as part of a Europe-wide agreement to turn off the traditional analogue TV, which in Ireland would mean RT1 and 2, TV3 and TG4, and all these services across Europe must be switched off by the 31st of December 2012. In Ireland it's going to happen somewhat earlier than that, on the 24th of October 2012, which is the same date that the analogue signal in the north of Ireland is to be turned off. So what that means effectively is that anybody in Ireland who is receiving their signal currently from an analogue aerial, receiving 4 Irish channels this way, they will lose that service that day, and they need to make plans of how they're going to pick up the new digital service in Ireland. Okay, so I just want to quickly go through the steps that are involved in it and what equipment may be necessary to purchase or change. So the first thing is, will you need to change the aerial on your roof? Currently, for the analogue system, depending on what transmitter you're picking up from, you'll use a UHF aerial like this, or a combination of a UHF and a VHF aerial. If currently your TV3 signal is crystal clear, then you can know for almost certain that you won't need to change your TV aerial. The cabling that you have should be sufficient as well. And moving then into the house, if you're looking at the television that you have, if the television you have is bought after June of 2010, most likely the television will be either Serview approved or MPEG-4, which means that it'll be able to handle the new digital signal. If you have a situation where your TV is marked Freeview, this will mean that it'll be an MPEG-2 television. You'll be able to receive the sound but not the picture. Okay, so just be aware of that fact. If you are in need of upgrading your facilities in terms of being able to receive the new digital TV signal, you have 2 basic options. The first one is you can come along and make a decision to buy a new television. Now, this is obviously a relatively expensive option, although it might suit certain customers. A more feasible option, I would say, for most people would be to simply come along and buy a set-top box that you would use in conjunction with your existing television, okay? And this will have the advantage that it can actually handle the signal, the new digital signal coming in, and then relay it to your television either through a HDMI lead or a SCART lead. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to give an overview quickly of the 3 basic choices you have in terms of boxes. So the most basic box you can buy here, and the lowest cost, would be simply a totally generic box that's MPEG-4 and high definition. This means that it can give you the picture and the sound from all the Irish digital TV channels, of which currently there's 8. Basically RT1, RT2 HD, TV3, 3E, RT News Channel, TG4, RT+1 and RT Junior as well. Okay? So the disadvantage of this particular box here is that it doesn't have an MPEG-5 engine on it, so it means it can't handle digital teletext. Okay, a sort of an in-between shop and middle of the range would be this generic box here that we sell, but what it has is it's not approved in terms of Serview, but it is MPEG-4 high definition, and it also has an MPEG-5 engine on it, and this vitally means that you can handle the digital teletext, and also it future-proofs you to a certain extent for future interactive services that are planned coming down the line, which we know will use the MPEG-5 layer. And the final thing would be to go for a fully Serview approved box, such as this box we have in front of us here. The one point on this is the most expensive of the 3 options. Okay. Now, just to give you a quick overview of what a new digital box would look like. This is the DTV M5, and basically, if you look on the front of the box here, it's just a nice, neat, small box. It comes with a 3-pin plug. There's a USB port on the front of it, which I'm going to come back to now in a moment. And just to turn the box around here, what we'll see here is that traditional aerial that's feeding your television, you can actually pull that aerial and push it into this coaxial input here, the RF in, and then you can put this box on auto tune in a space of about maybe 60 seconds. It'll tune in whatever channels are available, and you can feed the output then either using a HDMI output to a HD TV, or if you want, using a SCART output to a standard definition television. The disadvantage of the SCART is that you can't look at RT2 in high definition, although there is a downscaler built into all of these boxes here, which means that for high definition channels you can still receive them on your standard television, but just not the full HD effects. So the great advantage obviously of having a television that's high definition is that you can see RT2 in high definition, particularly the sports on European soccer and gaelic football and that, which is very, very attractive feature of it. So overall, just coming back to the USB port on the front, we can actually add a hard drive on here, which will allow us to record television, to playback programs to record it, and also there's a very good media player available on this box, as there is in most of these boxes, which will allow you to play AVI files and things like this. So that's an extremely attractive feature of it. So overall, I would say that the digital switchover is very much a good news story, simply because the range of channels has improved, the quality of the picture has massively improved. It's a once-off payment system, so it's simply a matter of buying the box and there's no additional fees. So for people, would say, who are looking at, even people who have Sky, who are looking at putting television into extra rooms, this is a very, very low-cost way of doing it. So overall, I think it's for the Irish consumer, it's a good news story. So that's it anyway, an overview of the digital TV switchover.